Well, Naden's lawyer spoke to the media a short time ago as he was leaving the police station.
Can you tell us about how your client's doing?
Well, he's just very tired at the moment. He's got some bite marks on his legs where when he was taken into custody, police dog bit his legs. And other than that, he's doing fine.
Is he, distressed at finally being in custody?
Well, I think that probably goes without saying, doesn't it?
Did you ask him about the cuts on his head? What did he say about that?
Excuse me. They just occurred at the time of his arrest. No, I don't. I'm sorry.
Sorry, say that again?
They occurred at the time of his arrest?
Is that a concern for you?
No.
Well, ABC reporter Ben Worsley is outside of the courthouse in Taree, where Naden has been charged and just recently appeared in court. Ben Worsley joins us now from there with the latest. Ben, can you tell us about the charges Malcolm Naden is facing?
G'day Nick, he's facing 4 charges at the moment. The major one is the charge of murder over the 2005 murder of 24-year-old Christy Scholes in Dubbo. Now, it was the discovery of her body in Naden's family home that police allege prompted him to disappear 7 years ago and to stay on the run until, as you mentioned, 4 minutes past midnight tonight. He's also been charged with shooting with intent to murder. Now, that's to do with the December 7 police raid near Nowen Dock when they closed in on a bush camp, and they allege that he fired and shot and hit a police officer in the shoulder. He's also facing 2 charges, Nick, of aggravated indecent assault of a person under 16.
And Ben, what happened during his court appearance?
It was very brief. It was about 15 minutes long. I must say it was quite surreal to be sitting within 5 metres of the man that we've read so much about, talked so much about and seen in the media so much over the last few months. He's quite small, as you said, a shaved head. He had quite a few cuts or abrasions on his face and on his head, and a big bushy beard. He was wearing police overalls. He had bandages on his ankles where the police dog bit him, and also on his left wrist. Not much was said, simply that he didn't apply for bail. And the police presence, I've got to say, I've never seen anything like it in a court. All ID was checked before going in. There were 3 heavily armed police officers in the dock with him at the time, and 15 or 20 or so surrounding the courthouse during the brief court hearing. He was taken away after that, limping very heavily. We obviously have seen the vision of him going to hospital and coming out again. He was limping very heavily when he was taken away. And about half an hour ago, Nick, Malcolm Naden left here in a corrections services van. We believe he's heading south to the Goulburn Supermax jail south of Sydney.
Yes, look, I understand that's just been announced by the New South Wales Attorney General that he will be held at the Goulburn Supermax. Did he have anything to say, Ben, while he was making that court appearance? And what was his general demeanour like?
He sat very quietly, calmly looked around the courtroom. He fixed eyes with pretty much everyone sitting there, not in any particular way, almost in a sort of stunned, numb sort of way. So there was no real emotion. I only heard him utter a couple of words, and that was to his defence lawyer, who got up, walked to him, picked up the phone to interact with him in that heavily fortified dock, and asked him about the cuts on his face and his head, at which point he muttered something about it just happened during the arrest. So that's all he said. There was no plea, no argument, no histrionics or anything like that. So 15 minutes sitting there watching things going on. He would obviously be bewildered. He's been living in the bush effectively for 7 years, and now suddenly he's at the centre of all this attention with a very heavy police presence following him wherever he goes.
Indeed, and we did mention that he has been in hospital today having treatment for those injuries that he's received. Can you tell us about the police operation that led to his arrest?
Police say they got aware of his whereabouts about 8 o'clock last night. Now, that makes you believe that they had surveillance on various houses in the area, and for some reason they realised that he was in this particular property just west of Gloucester. They had motion sensing equipment in many properties nearby because, as you said, he'd been living in the bush, but then he'd go and squat allegedly in some of these holiday houses and allegedly take food, clothing and firearms. Well, they realised he was at this place. 20 armed policemen, and including police dogs obviously, surrounded the house. Another 25 were nearby because he has escaped on many occasions before once they closed in on him. He appeared outside the house, saw them, ran back inside, at which time they swooped. A scuffle broke out. The police dog attacked. He was brought to the ground and was subdued and obviously arrested, and that's where we see that vision of him sitting on the ground with his handcuffs talking to the police before being led away. So it all happened very quickly, but remember the intensity of this police hunt has been building up from December onwards. It's been massive. The money, the resources, the manpower devoted to tracking this man down has been enormous, and obviously the police, a great sense of relief and pride in a week that New South Wales police haven't been receiving the greatest headlines, Nick. This is a moment that they are most certainly savouring.
And in Gloucester itself, well, you're in Taree, of course, Ben, but there must be a lot of relief in the local area that this manhunt has finally come to an end.
Look, they are expressing relief. I've got to say, though, when I was in Nowandock, when it first fired up again last December after that shooting, so the man had actually allegedly just shot a police officer, there wasn't a great sense of alarm or nervousness. People were very cautious. They were locking their doors where they otherwise wouldn't, but there wasn't a great sense of panic because the level of police commitment to this, it was so... it was there for everyone to see, so people felt quite safe, even though this man who's alleged to have done these things was still in their neck of the woods. So yes, you get the feeling there is a sense of relief today, but there's also a sense of intrigue. Obviously there's the serious charges that we're talking about, but this is a case that has captured the imagination of many people, and that's illustrated by, you can't see it, but there have been almost gridlock on this road in Taree. The whole day, once word had spread that Malcolm Naden was here, there's still bumper to bumper of cars driving by to see what on earth is going on. Obviously their man has left half an hour ago, but the level of interest in New South Wales in the last 3 months here has been enormous, and obviously the next very interesting chapter has just played out today.
Okay, Ben Worsley in Taree, thanks very much.
Thanks, Nick.